Good afternoon, welcome back to the show. 12:37 is the time. I'm Julia Hartley-Brewer. This is Talk. Delighted to welcome my next guest to the show. You'll know him well, of course, Toby Young, the founder of the Free Speech Union, now a Conservative peer. Good afternoon to you, Lord Young.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for joining us. Lots to talk to you about. First up, a case involving, a man that your own union, I'm a member as well, has been representing. And this is Hamit Coskun. He's known as the Koran burner outside the Turkish embassy. And he has got an appeal at the High Court. Well, it's actually, weirdly, it's an appeal by the Crown Prosecution Service against his overturning of his original conviction for the crime of, effectively, well, let's face it, they tried to try him on blasphemy crimes. Explain what's going on and what we're expecting to hear at the court today.
Yeah, so originally Hamit Coskun, who's a Turkish political refugee, was convicted in Westminster Magistrates Court of a religiously aggravated public order offence after he burnt a copy of the Koran outside the Turkish consulate in protest about the Islamification of his home country, Turkey. The Crown Prosecution's argument was that because two people had violently attacked him, who'd witnessed this Koran burning, he had therefore caused public disorder and was guilty of a criminal offence. Incredibly, he was convicted at Westminster Mags, but that conviction was overturned on appeal in Southwark Crown Court by a High Court judge in a very good judgment, which effectively said that the right to free speech includes the right to offend and upset people, and if it doesn't mean very much.
Indeed.
And we thought that was the end of the matter. But then the Crown Prosecution Service, incredibly, appealed Hamit's acquittal. And that's the hearing that's taking place today in the Royal Courts of Justice.
I mean, it is absolutely extraordinary. And again, the fact that in the original case, and we talked about it on the show yesterday, the fact that the judge basically justified the fact, look, clearly what he'd done had provoked people because that man went and got a knife and said, I'm going to kill you, and repeatedly tried to stab him. I mean, it is an absolute miracle that Hamit Koshkin wasn't killed in that attack. It's caught on camera. It's not a question of did he or didn't he, or was there a punch and did it hit him or not. It's absolutely caught on camera, the whole thing. And yet the man who wielded the knife didn't even get a prison term.
No, he got a suspended sentence. I mean, if the CPS's appeal is successful and Hamit's acquittal is overturned and the conviction stands, that will be extremely dangerous, I think, because it effectively sends a message to religious fanatics up and down the country that if you want to enforce one of your religious blasphemy codes, all you need do is violently attack a blasphemer, and then the CPS will prosecute the blasphemer for causing a religiously aggravated public order offence. You may be prosecuted as well as the violent attacker, but be in no doubt we will also prosecute the blasphemer. So effectively this would be introducing an Islamic blasphemy law.
Yes, because only one religion. Have we not de facto got one? We've still got the, Batley Grammar School teacher. He's still in hiding with his wife and 4 kids after just simply showing a picture of the Prophet Muhammad to his children in a religious class, part of his teaching. We've seen again and again and again people being threatened. We know, certainly, I mean, gosh, Denmark and Netherlands, and we've had numerous, absolutely blatant killings because of this, and it's happening across Europe. We have a de facto blasphemy law for one religion, the only religion for which people think it's apparently large numbers of people, according to the polls, who are otherwise peacefully living here, think it's perfectly acceptable that someone should either go to prison or be put to death for offending against their religion or their prophet. That is the reality. There are things that I don't say publicly because I don't want to have a panic button in my home and live in fear for me and my family. It's already stifling our freedom of speech.
It is. I mean, I'm thinking about installing a panic button in my home, Julia, because the Free Speech Union, which has been paying for Hamit's defence throughout this process, along with the National Secular Society, may be targeted by Islamists. I mean, it's perfectly possible. At the moment, we don't have a de facto Muslim blasphemy law. We do have a de facto prohibition on breaching Muslim blasphemy codes for the reason you've set out. Why this case is important is that if the CPS is successful, then we will effectively have a Muslim blasphemy law in this country. And it would be very odd to just have a law against Muslim blasphemy, but not Christian blasphemy. After all, we repealed Christian blasphemy laws in England and Wales 18 years ago. And I think it would contribute, if the CPS is successful today, it would contribute to the perception that Muslims do enjoy additional legal protections that aren't extended to other religious groups. And that's not good for community relations. It makes people who aren't Muslims feel like second-class citizens.
But it's also not good for the majority Muslim population in this country who just like to get about their lives and shouldn't be patronised by being treated differently and expected that, well, you know, if they don't get their way, then they'll just get violent. That's a pretty racist Islamist, they might argue, viewpoint. It's treating people as different, with something that I think that you and I would not do. We expect everyone to uphold the same standards, which is, you know what, someone might mock your religion. Someone wants to tell me I'm going to hell because I'm an atheist. I'm like, well, fine, I don't believe in hell. It doesn't bother me. You can mock me, I can mock your religion. That should be part of our free speech in a free democratic society.
Yeah, I mean, there was a call-in show yesterday on another radio station.
There's another radio station.
and a caller called in and said, if it was a Muslim, if someone burnt a copy of the Koran in front of me, I would violently attack them because, in my view, that's wrong. Well, you know, it shouldn't be. I mean, you would hope that Muslims living in Britain would understand that it's simply wrong to attack someone else who is a non-believer for disrespecting your blasphemy code, just as it would be wrong to attack them for disrespecting a Christian.
And I think both of us would agree that we think it's not really a good idea for people to be burning any religious books or indeed books of any kind. I mean, but I think the key thing about Hamit Koshkin, he wasn't outside a mosque doing it. He wasn't harassing people going to worship. He was outside the Turkish embassy. It was a political protest.
It was most definitely a political protest, and that was the conclusion of the High Court judge when Hamit appealed his conviction.
Well,
it was a political protest, and it's protected by Article 10 of the European Convention on Human Rights.
Do we know when we're going to get the result of this case?
We think that the hearing is going to conclude today, but we don't yet know whether they're going to give their judgment today. I hope they are.
Absolutely. Well, I also want to talk to you about something else. Hate crimes which target people on the grounds of their sexuality or gender identity or a disability are set to become aggravated offences under a proposed new law. It's an amendment to the Crimes and Policing Bill. It means that a crime is aggravated, so basically facing a tougher penalty. Not that anyone seems to go to prison anymore, but a tougher penalty if a victim is targeted because of those characteristics. We're told by the LGBT plus anti-abuse charity Gallup that this is a landmark moment for equality. Now, I don't know whether it includes the plus in this, whether if someone claims to be one of the pluses, they claim to be, I don't know, queer or the asexual, that would still count as well. But who knows? But why should someone attacking someone because I would argue whether they're gay, straight, think they're trans, black, white, man or woman, if you attack someone physically or you abuse someone, why should it be an aggravated crime because of those characteristics?
I don't think it should. What aggravated characteristics, what these aggravators effectively do is criminalise thought. What they say is that if you're thinking a particular thought when you're attacking somebody, then it should be punished more severely than if you commit exactly the same crime but aren't having that particular thought, which effectively criminalises particular thoughts. It introduces the concept of thought crime into British law. You quoted this justification earlier, just now, that it strikes a blow for equality. It makes our society more equal. That is Orwellian doublespeak. Yes. If you introduce protected characteristics into the criminal law, what you're effectively saying is that people who happen to have these particular characteristics enjoy stronger legal protections than people who don't. So how is that a blow for equality. Surely it's a blow for inequality. It is making some people less equal than others. It is a breach of the fundamental principle that everyone should be equal in the eyes of the law.
Okay, Toby, Lord Young, Conservative peer, founder of the Free Speech Union, thank you very much indeed. Wish you luck with our Hamit Koshkin case. We're going to go straight to a break.